Hi, everybody. Welcome to the QB School. I'm JT O'Sullivan. Today, Aaron Rodgers. Marching towards the MVP. We are diving into it. I think you're going to dig it. Let's get it started. Welcome to the QB School. So, Aaron Rodgers playing at an extremely high level, as are the Packers offensively. I don't care who they're playing against. I think they are fun to watch break down. This video specifically, I think is going to show a lot of the things that makes Aaron really special and has for a really long time. He's doing it at a very high, consistent level right now. I think I'm going to wait till the end to be able to pull out maybe two things that I can kind of not predict, but foresee being a potential issue moving forward, that I think it's just interesting to pull out these things when you see them happen and you notice them as a potential systemic thing. So structurally, what they're asking him to do in the offense and how it could potentially backfire moving forward. Not that it hasn't already, or that it has in small sample sizes or small doses, but I think that there are some things that continue to make me a little leery about how Aaron is operating at the line of scrimmage, and just think it's worth considering as we move forward into more important games here towards December into the playoffs, that some of these things, when they work, are great, and when they don't work, you wonder where they came from. Well, they were here the entire time. Maybe you just didn't notice. So hang to the end. I'll tell you what I'm thinking. Let's get this one going. So the first one here, 4th and 1. RPO, Davante Adams down here at the bottom of the slot. Little corner. Again, ball location. You know, he's always been precise, a surgeon with his accuracy. This is a 4th and 1. Little RPO. You can see that run here. They bring in the wide receiver to the right, seal off, make it a long edge, tight end, basically a wing or an inside zone. If they hand it off there, to me, it's a touchdown. Now, this is something we're going to talk about at the end of the video, but the structure of this thing is basically just they are running to the left. We're going pure RPO. But if you get the look that you like, one-on-one, they're allowing Aaron, and have allowed Aaron for a long time, to come out and make these throws. Now, the great precision accuracy, I think you could make the argument that that throw right there on the outside might even be easier. But again, if he hands this ball off here, it's a touchdown. If he throws it here, it's a touchdown. He throws the corner, obviously touchdown. We talked a little bit about ball location on corner on a video yesterday. The idea being come up here, set it, and then the quarterback throws it about halfway in the end zone, up high. Pretty good example of it right here. But just paying attention to the decision-making process in some of these short yardages, because on the third down right before this, they had a similar RPO, Davante Adams, and he couldn't hook it up. So again, just the idea being that, you know, if you're a running back, how you feeling about this? You know, I know he's going for 400, etc. It's a beautiful throw and catch, nothing taken away from it. If you've got someone who can do that, do it. But that's just a hint of what I think potentially could be an issue as we get further and further into the season. Right here, a little waggle, naked to the left. Mercedes Lewis doing it forever, wide open. Really love the structure of this play. Running a naked, away from rotation. Surprise everybody throwing it to him. The thing to pay attention to me quarterback-wise here is the offhand. Talk a lot about details here. That offhand is on his gut, hiding the ball. Can't see what's in that hand. Perfect fundamentals. He's been doing this for so long. He makes this look easy. Floating to his left. Again, he's wide open, but the ball location never changes. Easy to catch. Catchable ball. Love the design here. Again, watch the rocker at the safety. They're coming down. Doesn't get better than booting away from rotation. There it is. I mean, wide open. Nobody, you know, within 10 yards of him. Again, little things quarterback-wise, the depth of the quarterback. They're on the 19 here. Come out of it, get depth. You know, 10-plus yards, fading away. I mean, that's wide open. But again, the depth out of the fake, the offhand, just absolute precision from the quarterback position. And it helps to have guys running wide open. But again, love the football technique here, quarterback-wise. Get around. Beautiful. And he's been doing that, creating outside the pocket for as long as you can remember. Another great one here. This is more of a blown coverage than anything else. 96 seconds left before half. They're going to rotate to middle field closed man, and they're just going to blow the coverage here on the number 3 down here at the bottom hash. We'll talk about exactly why this happens, but this is a great job by the offensive line. Aaron, his vision, base, being able to keep these plays alive. We get a mailbox. All sorts of my favorite things are going on here. First up, just the idea of the quarterback position, the vision to be able to see this, not panic. Great pass protection. We can see here that he's just being able to keep his eyes down the field, go from left to right. Again, check the base, no heel click, got all his cleats in the ground, a little off platform. Great vision being able to see this. What happens here is that when you play this middle field closed man, and depending on what your rules are in your system, how you're going to handle this is going to be different. So what happens here is we're going to get this little over route. And this little bend right here is really important to what actually ends up happening. And he's able to come out here, drop him, mailbox, hand up, all sorts of good stuff. Well, the essence of this thing is middle field closed. Everybody's manned up, manned up, manned up, manned up, except right here. This is a 2-on-1 funnel. What I mean by that is right here, these two guys have him depending on where he releases. It's not a double team. So if he releases inside, the inside guy's going to take him. He's going to fall off into the hole player. Just the opposite, if he were to come out here and run it out, he would take him. He'd fall off into the hole player. Nothing special about that. What is special about it is when he goes in, he falls off, becomes a hole player. He gets distracted, looks in here at Aaron, and he's able to be dropped going to the over. So just little subtle things like that. Same thing you would see on a Friday night or Saturday morning in Pop Warner. Happens in the league. You can watch that number 3 release. Just that little subtle in, that's where he passes it off right there. Passes it off. Now the linebacker's got him. Linebacker's trying to anticipate that shallow. It doesn't happen. Now he's got his eyes on Aaron. Aaron's looking to the left. Just drops him. Now it's a scramble drill. Mailbox right there. Beautiful. Love me a good mailbox. And that's a walk-in. Quarterback-wise, again, talk a lot about footwork, base. Even when things break down, check Aaron's lower half here. No heel click. All his cleats in the ground. Rotational force, torque, all the good stuff. Great vision, though, more than anything else. Again, just watching 49 and 21 operate here on 85. That inside release. Pass it off. You can see there it is. 49 sees him. He's locked in right there. He's trying to anticipate that shallow, running with him. Aaron's eyes are to the right. When Aaron comes back to the left, the linebacker's looking at Aaron. Now he's dropped him. It's over. Now you just have to buy enough time, have the pass pro to be able to see it, and making it look easy. One more time. Look at 21 and 49. What happened? I thought you had him. Halftime, you dig the channel and you haven't already, please subscribe. Hit the bell. Get the notifications. Let you know when we go live, when we're pumping out new content. I appreciate the support for the channel. Let's keep this thing going. Next one here is a drop, but it's a beautiful throw. Big time throw, massive throw. Love the construction of the play with the shift and the motion. Down here to the bottom of the screen, a little big post. Throw them open. Maybe slow down a step, but that's a ball you got to catch. And this is just Aaron Rodgers. You know, we got some structural issues here for me. We'll talk about living on the edge, having tight ends block defensive ends. Get fortunate right here. Aaron be able to create the space, but then that's just a massive throw. From the 26 to the 15, I mean, my goodness, across the field. You love the design here of this shift. Look at what this shift motion does to the defense. So they bring the nickel across. Now they have to motion back. They have to bump it with the little jet or fly sweep motion. And then this route down here to the bottom of the screen. This thing is just a thing of beauty. Big, lean into the corner, and then run. And you got this whole field to drop this thing to. Why? Because Devontae Adams right here. Getting all the attention. Great job again. Vision, taking advantage of the field, throwing people open. You know, not sure that's exactly how you want to play quarters down here with the safety at the bottom of the screen, but maybe that's what their rules tell them. But again, I love Aaron throwing to space, and that is just a massive throw that he makes look easy, and it's not perfect, but it's damn close to perfect. We talk a lot about pass pro here. Tight end, Lewis here on our left, blocking 55. That's a massive block. asking a tight end in the NFL to block a defensive end on a big play action pass. Get fortunate in my mind right there for the flyby. And that's just a massive throw. I mean, it's massive. Hits him in the chest, in the hands. You got to make that play. I love the DB too. Like, yeah, right. Super fortunate. This next one, backed up. You're going to get a double count, hard count. You're either going to run it, ISO, or you're going to take a shot. That's it. Or you're going to sneak it. For me, this is one of those kind of classic Aaron things. No, yes, awesome. So structurally, one of the few times in this game I had an issue with the design here, just because the tight ends on our left don't go out at all, and that allows the corner 29 DB to fall back into this post. I mean, he's running wide open. If you get one of those tight ends potentially out, potentially holding him down, again, the design here, it's worth talking about while things look good, when things potentially don't look good. This is where things could get hairy real quick. When neither of these guys releases, he's able to fall back. And this is on the quarterback. So it's here, post all the way across the field. Love it. All sorts of space to throw this thing to. We'll talk football technique here from the back end, quarterback technique from the back end, but just the design of the play, really living on the edge when you don't release any tight end, 9-man protection. Don't see that very often. Great job. I mean, how about the free safety here? Come on, bro. I mean, wow. Really nice. Fortunate also, in my opinion, though, too. This is one of those Aaron being Aaron throws. And I know some gurus out there will say he practices this, he's got it, we can teach this type of stuff. I think this is one of those things for me that you just tip your hat to Aaron that he can do this, where he kind of, this jump set where he jumps to the left. This is unique to Aaron Rodgers, in my opinion. Jump, throw back to the right, the other way. Now, you see him get away with it throwing to the left sometimes when he's got to make these massive throws. But just the counterintuitive force here, I'm not a biomechanics guy, but jumping left, throwing right, 50 yards, basically 48 yards in the air, is a recipe for disaster for mortals. He's going left with the jump cut, but throws it right. I mean, everything he got on that thing, and it's almost picked. I mean, that's pretty tight. That's Aaron Rodgers special. Maybe it can be taught, but my goodness, living on the edge there. I think if anybody was coaching Aaron Rodgers here in the pocket, one more time, all the way back, because this thing is worth looking at, because it is a great call. If he just steps up normally, as opposed to drifting to the left, I think this thing is just so much easier and potentially scores with how accurate Aaron is. Because he kind of jumps to the left with his reset, he lets this thing hang up a little bit and the corner's able to bail off and come make a play. I think he made that more difficult than it had to be on himself, which is saying something because the guy's playing at such a high level. Down here, a little 3-by-1, vertical, middle field closed, fade, just Aaron surgical with the accuracy. All those guys know if they win it all, gap them at the line of scrimmage, they got a great shot for the ball to be delivered on time. That's the other thing I love about Aaron, not only the decision-making, the accuracy, but the rhythm of this, the on time. It's up and out. It's bump man. Look, the free safety has got no chance to make a play on that ball. He's got great understanding of trajectory, knowing when to drop it down from a helicopter, knowing when to hit kind of a flat 4-iron. This is just nice, smooth, easy. That's about as low trajectory of a fade as you'll ever see, but the accuracy isn't hurt. It gets up and down so quickly that free safety never has a shot. He never even touches him. Those are the little details that I love to see, as opposed to throwing it out of bounds or throwing it up too high, letting the free safety make a play on the ball. He gets it up and out. There's no look off. It's bump man. Catch it. Does your guy win? Yes. Up and down. All his cleats in the ground, and that's just a strike. On the chest. Special. Then the last one here. Again, this is an RPO. We're going to run a jet sweep to the right. He just likes the matchup to the left. Flick it out there. Now, it works here, and it's great when it works. And I get it. You're going for 400. I do. I understand that element of it. But when you got a guy like Aaron, who wants to throw touchdown passes. This is one of those things for me that potentially could have some issues as the season progresses. And what I mean by that is this could have turned bad really quick. Now up top right here, this doesn't look good to throw the ball. We're running jet sweep to the right or some variation of. What I mean right here, we're going here. He could flick it to him with that little shovel pass, but he doesn't want that to be his 400 touchdown pass. So when he starts coming in motion here, the DB falls off just enough. But it's not just this matchup, right? All these guys are going this way. They're going to the right. They're running their tracks. This guy is unblocked. He obviously has a very special release, but you're navigating an unblocked C-gap defender and this throw. And I just feel like at some point, this could just as easily just flick it to the wide receiver. Now, does he score? Who knows? But again, those aren't like gimmies there for me. I like how they do it there with Adams being in tight with the little like almost bubble to himself. And then that's just him making a play. And great, if that's the matchup you want to work, I'm just telling you, when these things work, they're great. When they don't, everybody is up in arms that you just didn't hand the ball off. And so I get it. He gets a lot of carte blanche with his, decision making and all those things. But this is basically the new audible. I remember when he first got to Green Bay, there was some, public relations tensions with LaFleur and Aaron about, what type of control you would have at the line of scrimmage. Well, teams really don't audible, like old school audible, very often anymore. Those are the decisions in game. When you give someone the free reins to be able to do that, as potentially he deserves that kind of freedom at the line of scrimmage. Just like the first touchdown of the game. The third down, it's a drop. It's not a completion. 5 years ago, you're kicking a field goal. Nowadays, you're going for it again, and you're throwing it again. And it hooks up, and it works. And when it works, it's great, and you route someone. But when it doesn't, and it's the NFC Championship game, or it's the divisional round, or it's the Super Bowl, people are up in arms. Why are you changing who you are? That's not the DNA of this team. This team's a running team. Okay, but these are the types of bones that kind of come up over the course of the season that maybe aren't examined quite deep enough when they work, because the offensive line unit is block and run. The running backs want to run the ball too. They want to score touchdowns too. And I get it, when you're around a record, those things change a little bit, but I think it's worth paying attention to for just a hot second, that those decisions, specifically in the red area, the tight red area, when they work, they're great. When they don't, there's potential blowback. And I just think it's an underlying theme of what they are doing offensively right now with what they're allowing Aaron to have the freedom to do, that potentially could come back and bite them as the season progresses. The other thing is just that Aaron kind of jump that he's famous for, especially to his left, where he kind of jumps out of the pocket and gets an extra force from the ground as far as working that way. Really fortunate on this one, on that big play, backed up to Adams, in my opinion, to get the completion, 40 yards, massive completion. But if it was just a little bit easier, if he just did a little bit more conventional element of it. I know you don't want to take away the magic of what he's able to create inside and outside the pocket, and obviously more accurate than anybody who's just about ever played the game. But I think it's, especially for this type of setting where, we're going to talk school every once in a while, there are things to admire in people who do things at a really high level, and then there are things to try to replicate. And I'm not sure that is one of those things that I would encourage people to replicate all the time. I think that there are times for it occasionally when you're going to rip something to the left, but you can see how it potentially even got one of, if not the greatest guy to ever spin it, in trouble. It worked out. He can still throw it 49 yards, 48 yards, jumping left, throwing right down the field, but it was close. So thanks so much for hanging to the end. I appreciate it. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I will see you next time. Have a good one.